the trigger, how you get so fly?
Welcome back to another episode of Mr. Chef Lad. It's been a while since we've created a video, but we're back for another season as of this weekend. We've got plenty of recipes lined up, we've got guests coming on the show, but tonight for dinner I'll be cooking a warm seafood chowder. Now it's freezing in Canberra where I live, and seafood chowder, nice and warm, quite hearty and homely, is a beautiful meal for dinner tonight. So let's get straight into it. So first of all, we're going to start off with about 100 grams of salted butter and just wait for that to melt. Make sure you're moving it around, otherwise it will burn. And then with that, we're going to go straight in with our bacon. And with that, about 2 large onions. And stir that through. Just sweat it out a little bit. This is what's going to give you that natural sweetness from the onions and the saltiness that comes out of the bacon. Now to the base of the onions and bacon, we're going to add a pinch of, thyme and fennel seeds. Just stir that through. Every time you add an ingredient into this, just make sure you're stirring everything through. It will stop the bottom from burning as well. And because it is a large soup and I'm cooking for about 6 people, I'm going to use 2 bay leaves. If you're cooking a smaller quantity, maybe just stick with 1. And to that, we're going to start adding our vegetables. So I'm going to go in with the carrots and celery next. And again, just give that a good stir through. And we're just going to let the carrots soften up a little bit, so maybe leave them on the heat for about 4 to 5 minutes. Now once you've got those vegetables nice and soft, we're going to go in with our garlic. I've got 5 cloves here, quite finely diced. And the vegetables have actually let out a little bit of that water, so we're going to now try and thicken that up with plain flour. I'm adding approximately 1.5 cups. Again, I'm cooking for a lot of people, so these ingredients will be on a slightly larger scale. Now you want to stir that through, and as you stir it through, it will thicken up quite quickly. Now that this mixture is starting to thicken up, we're going to go in with our wet ingredients. And to that, we're going to add a white wine. You don't need to go buy an expensive wine for this, but I'm adding about 1.5 cups. And just mix that through. Now, once that wine's in, and you've given that a mix for about 30 to 40 seconds, I've got a fish stock that I've been gently simmering, which I'm going to add in now. And give that a good mix through as well. You want to add enough fish stock so that all of the ingredients that are in the pot at that point are pretty much all covered. So I've been mixing this through for about 5 minutes, and I'm ready to add my potatoes and corn in. So I had these potatoes sitting in cold water for the last few minutes, just so they don't oxidate and actually start changing into a different colour. So I'm going to pop the potatoes in now, and corn kernels. Just mix that through. And to that, I'm going to add a bit of lemon zest. And give that a quick stir through as well. So the soup's been simmering away for the last 5 minutes and I'm almost ready to add all the seafood in. But before I do that, I need to add a cup of cream to balance out some of those sharper flavors. And it's also going to help provide that texture to the soup as well. So just go in with a cup. Give that a quick mix through and we can start adding our seafood in straight away. So what I've got here is some bass, which I'm going to add in first as my fish. Oh. And to that I've also got scallops, which can go in. I'm going to go in with some calamari or squid, which I've just chopped up a little bit into bite-sized pieces. And with that I've also got lobster tail. Give that a mix through and let that sit there and simmer for approximately 10 minutes. Now fish and most of the seafood won't take a lot to cook, but we want to make sure that we're not having any uncooked parts either. That's looking good. Now this has been on the heat for the last 20 minutes and the seafood should be cooked. Remember, we haven't added any salt to the dish, so give it a quick taste at this point. That's beautiful, but I'm going to add a pinch of salt and a little bit of white pepper with that as well. Might add a little bit more. Give that a quick stir. And finally to that we're going to add our chopped parsley, which is the final ingredient and something you usually put right at the end when you're about to serve it. So I've got a handful of parsley there. Now just mix that through. Now that's pretty much ready to go. I'm about to serve it, but before I do that, I recommend you get any type of toasted crusty bread, cut it up into slices, and that works perfectly as you dip it into the soup. So let's start cutting that up now. Okay, so I've toasted my bread and I'm ready to start serving this up. And it's not complete without a little bit of garnish. I'm just going to put some parsley right there in the middle. And there you have it. There is my seafood chowder. I'm going to give this a quick taste. Oh my god. That is absolutely beautiful. You can taste the scallop and lobster straight away. It's warm, it's hearty, and it's really nice and creamy as well. That's delicious. I can't wait to eat this. I hope you enjoyed that episode and make sure to like and subscribe. If you do give this a go, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you next time on another episode of Mr. Chef Lad.
Show you how you get so fly.